on the southeastern coast of India, where the Bay of Bengal meets the shores of Tamil Nadu. It lies a quiet island town called Rameswaram. It is a place known for its temples, calm streets, and the soft sound of waves that never stop whispering to the land. It was in this town, on October 15, 1931, that a boy named Avul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam was born. He was the youngest of 5 siblings in a simple Muslim family. His father's name was Jainulabdin. He was a boat owner. He wasn't rich in money, but rich in wisdom. His mother, Ashiama, was warm-hearted and deeply spiritual. Their home was filled with prayers, discipline, and kindness. Little Kalam grew up in a house built of wood and thatched roof, close to the mosque and not far from the temple. In Rameswaram, different religions lived side by side, like colors in a beautiful painting. Kalam's best friends were Hindu boys, one a priest's son, another a merchant's son. Nobody cared about religion or class. They cared about cricket, flying kites, and running barefoot through the streets. From a young age, Kalam was curious. He would sit with his father by the shore and asking questions about the stars, the sky, and the meaning of life. His father often spoke few words, but when he did, they stayed in Kalam's heart forever. "You must never be afraid of dreams, Abdul," he once said, and placing a hand on his son's shoulder. "Dreams are not what you see when you sleep. Dreams are what keep you awake, make you work harder." Those words would become a part of Kalam's soul. Kalam was a quiet child. He loved reading, listening, and observing. He would help his family by distributing newspapers before school. With a satchel slung over his shoulder and bare feet brushing the dust of the roads, he would run through Rameswaram's alleys every morning. It wasn't just a job. It was his first taste of responsibility and independence. At school, Kalam was a good student, not the brightest in every subject, but deeply interested in science and mathematics. His teachers noticed his hunger to learn. One of them, Sivasubramania Iyer, a science teacher, once took him to his home and served him food on a banana leaf. This was unusual in these days, as Iyer was a high-caste Brahmin and Kalam a Muslim. But Iyer saw only a bright mind, not religion. That small act of equality touched Kalam deeply. Years later, Kalam would say, "We live in a land where we worship knowledge." A good teacher can open a mind better than any key. As he grew, so did his dreams. More than anything else, Kalam wanted to fly. He would stand by the seashore, watching birds soar in the sky, and wish he could join them. That simple dream, of flight, would take him farther than he could ever imagine. Kalam's dreams weren't just about the sky. They were about exploring the world of science and of learning things that no one around him could explain. The idea of becoming a pilot had always been in his heart, but fate had other plans. After completing his early education in Rameswaram, Kalam moved to the city of Tiruchirappalli for his high school studies. He stayed with his relatives, far from the comfort of his small town, and attended the Schwartz High School. It was here that Kalam realized that his passion for learning could take him to places he never imagined. Though he wasn't the best student in every subject, he loved his physics and mathematics lessons the most. Despite the fact that his family could not afford to send him to the top schools, Kalam was determined to follow his dreams. With his love for flying, he applied to the Indian Air Force to become a pilot. When the results came back, Kalam was devastated to learn that he had missed the cutoff mark by just one place. Though it was a crushing blow, it did not break his spirit. Instead of lamenting, Kalam set his eyes on another goal: aerospace engineering. His journey took him to Madras, where he enrolled in the Madras Institute of Technology, MIT. Here, he met some of the brightest minds of his generation. The atmosphere was full of competition and excitement. Students from various backgrounds had come to MIT, each with their own dreams and aspirations, but all with the same burning desire to change the world. For Kalam, MIT was a revelation. The young man from a small coastal town was now walking the halls of one of the country's most prestigious institutions, with a singular aim: to master the mysteries of flight. MIT was also where Kalam learned the meaning of hard work. His academic life was challenging and at times frustrating. The subjects he took up in aerospace engineering weren't easy. Some days he felt discouraged, but his friends and mentors supported him through it all and reminding him of the man he was becoming: a scientist who would not stop at anything to learn and achieve. One of his mentors at MIT, Dr. Satish Dhawan, would later become a major influence in his life. Dr. Dhawan was a pioneer in India's aerospace program, and he could see the passion in Kalam's eyes. He took Kalam under his wing, helping him understand the deeper, complex theories of aerospace engineering and encouraging him to pursue his passion for technology and flight. After completing his degree in aerospace engineering from MIT, Kalam joined the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, in 1962. This was where his dreams started to take shape in a way he had never imagined. At ISRO, Kalam's first project was a small satellite launch vehicle, a project that would eventually lead to the creation of India's first satellite named Aryabhata in 1975. This marked the beginning of Kalam's long and illustrious career in India's space program. Working alongside a team of talented engineers, scientists, and visionaries, Kalam contributed to the development of India's rocket technology. He was at the center of the country's space exploration and was deeply involved in the development of satellites, launch vehicles, and the technology that would make India a significant player on the world's space stage. Kalam was known for his humility, even though his achievements were extraordinary. He spent countless hours at the ISRO laboratory, thinking through problems, solving complex issues, and encouraging his team to push boundaries. He believed that failures were simply stepping stones on the road to success. Despite the challenges, the world began to take notice of India's growing prowess in space technology. But for Kalam, the greatest reward was the impact his work had on India's future. Every rocket launch, every satellite, every mission brought India one step closer to becoming a self-reliant country in the field of science and technology. As Kalam's work with ISRO grew, so did his reputation as a dedicated scientist. His focus, determination, and ability to inspire those around him earned him the nickname the Missile Man of India. One of Kalam's most important contributions was his role in India's development of the Agni and Prithvi missiles, which would later become a cornerstone of the country's defense strategy. His work with the defense industry was not about power or warfare. It was about national security and ensuring that India had the strength to protect its borders and people. Throughout his career, Kalam always emphasized that his work was for the benefit of the country and its people. His work was never for personal glory, but for the collective good of India's future. In the 1990s, as the country's space and defense programs gained more recognition, Kalam was appointed the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India. During this time, he worked on numerous national projects, including the development of advanced technologies for space exploration and defense. But his true legacy was always in his vision. Kalam was not just a scientist. He was a visionary who believed in the power of youth to transform the world. He traveled across India, meeting with young students and encouraging them to dream big. He told them that they could achieve anything they set their minds to, just as he had done. In 2002, when the presidency of India was up for election, a surprising candidate emerged, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The man who had dedicated his life to science, space, and defense was now running for the highest office in the country. Kalam was elected as the 11th President of India, an honor that filled him with both pride and responsibility. His presidency marked a new chapter in his life. Though he held the title of head of state, he continued to live with the same humility and simplicity he had always embraced. During his presidency, Kalam was known for his approachability, his warmth, and his passion for inspiring young people. He often met with students across the country, encouraging them to pursue their dreams. His presidency was marked by a focus on technology, youth, and innovation. He was known as the People's President because of his genuine connection with ordinary citizens, especially students. As president, Kalam championed the cause of education and scientific development, and he worked tirelessly to ensure that the youth of India had the opportunity to reach their fullest potential. His motto was simple: dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. After his term as president ended in 2007, Kalam continued his work as a mentor, educator, and speaker. He authored several books, including his famous autobiography, Wings of Fire, where he shared his journey from the small town of Rameswaram to the heights of space and science. His words resonated with millions, especially the youth, who saw in him a role model and a source of inspiration. Even after retiring, Kalam never stopped working. He traveled to schools, universities, and scientific institutions, continuing to inspire students and researchers to dream big, think big, and aim high. He was a living example of what dedication, hard work, and perseverance could achieve. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's life was a story of endless dreams, hard work, and a passion for making India a better, stronger nation. His legacy is not just in the rockets he launched or the missiles he developed, but in the countless hearts he touched and the minds he inspired. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's contributions to science and technology were monumental, but what truly set him apart was his deep sense of service to his country. After his presidency, Kalam continued to be an embodiment of inspiration and hope, especially for the youth of India. His passion for teaching, for sparking curiosity, and for nurturing young minds never wavered, even as he grew older. He often referred to himself as a teacher, and he took great joy in meeting students across the nation. Kalam firmly believed that the future of India lay in the hands of its young people. He believed that youth could bring about the greatest transformation, and he used every opportunity to encourage them to dream big, to strive for excellence, and to never stop learning. Kalam's vision for India was clear: a nation driven by innovation, technology, and the boundless potential of its people. He often spoke of his dream of making India a global leader in technology and science, and his message was consistent. He would say, "You have to dream before your dreams can come true." In his later years, Kalam became a beloved figure in educational circles. He continued to speak at schools and colleges, traveling all over India to interact with students. Whether at the prestigious EITs, Indian Institutes of Technology, IIMs, Indian Institutes of Management, or small rural schools, his message remained the same. Don't let your circumstances define you. Take risks, stay curious, and push the boundaries of knowledge. His interactions with students were always filled with positivity and warmth. He would often engage in long conversations with them, asking them about their dreams and ambitions, and offering advice to help them realize those dreams. Kalam believed that education was the foundation of a strong nation, and he took great pride in seeing young people develop into the leaders of tomorrow. One of the most significant aspects of his teaching was the way he used simple, relatable examples to explain complex ideas. Whether he was speaking about the importance of space technology or the role of scientific innovation in societal progress, he could make even the most difficult concepts accessible to anyone, regardless of their background. His favorite question to students was, "What is your dream?" He often asked them to share their aspirations and would patiently listen to each one. For Kalam, helping young minds discover their potential was as important as any scientific achievement. Beyond his speeches and interactions, Dr. Kalam's books have had an enormous impact on India and the world. His autobiography, Wings of Fire, remains a bestseller to this day. It was in this book that he shared his humble beginnings, his struggles, and his triumphs. His words resonated deeply with readers, particularly those from small towns and villages, as they saw themselves in his story of perseverance and grit. In his other works, such as India 2020, A Vision for the New Millennium, and Ignited Minds, Unleashing the Power Within India, Kalam articulated his vision for India's future, a nation powered by science, innovation, and leadership at all levels. These books weren't just about technology or politics. They were about the spirit of the people and the potential of the nation as a whole. Kalam's books were not written from the perspective of a politician or a scientist. Rather, they were written from the perspective of a teacher, someone who cared deeply about the future of India and its people. His writing was simple, yet profound, filled with anecdotes, personal experiences, and deep insights into the human spirit. His message was clear. A nation's strength lies not in its resources, but in the aspirations of its people. For Kalam, education, scientific progress, and ethical leadership were the pillars upon which India could build a brighter future. Despite his fame, Dr. Kalam remained a man of deep spirituality and simplicity. His lifestyle was humble, and he lived in a modest apartment, preferring a simple existence over luxury. He was often seen wearing a plain white kurta pajama, his signature look that matched his unpretentious persona. For him, material wealth was not the measure of success. Personal fulfillment, service to others, and the pursuit of knowledge were what mattered most. Kalam's spirituality was a central part of his life, but it wasn't something that he spoke about often. He believed in the power of prayer and meditation, and he found strength in the teachings of his childhood, where he spent time in the temple with his family. He always maintained that his work, whether in science or in his presidency, was a form of service to God and his country. His belief in the unity of all religions shaped his worldview. Kalam believed that the essence of every religion was the same: to serve humanity, to strive for peace, and to live a life of integrity. This was a core principle that he often communicated to others, urging them to embrace diversity and to work towards the common good of humanity. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam continued his work well into his 80s. His health began to decline in the last years of his life, but his spirit remained unwavering. In July 2015, Kalam was invited to give a lecture at the Indian Institute of Management, IIM, Shillong. As always, he was excited to engage with students and share his wisdom with the next generation. On July 27, 2015, while delivering a lecture on creating a livable planet Earth, Dr. Kalam collapsed from a cardiac arrest. He was rushed to the hospital, but despite the efforts of the doctors, he passed away that evening. His death left a profound sense of loss across India and the world. But even in his passing, Dr. Kalam's legacy lived on. The nation mourned the loss of one of its greatest sons. Tributes poured in from every corner of the world. Politicians, scientists, students, and ordinary citizens all shared their memories of Kalam and the impact he had on their lives. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's life was one of service, vision, and dedication. He was not just a scientist, but a symbol of what is possible when passion, hard work, and an unwavering belief in the potential of youth come together. His legacy lives on in the hearts of the millions of students he inspired, the scientists he mentored, and the leaders he shaped. Through his books, his speeches, and his work, Kalam continues to guide India toward a future of innovation and progress. He is remembered not only for his scientific accomplishments or his time as president, but for the way he lived his life, full of purpose, humility, and a relentless belief in the power of dreams. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's life is a testament to the power of dreams. From a small boy in Rameswaram to the President of India, he achieved the extraordinary through hard work, perseverance, and an undying passion for his country. His story is one of inspiration, showing that no matter where you start, you can reach the sky if you are willing to work for it. He was not just a man of science or technology. He was a man of heart and spirit, who believed that true progress comes from the heart, and that by serving others, we serve the greater good of humanity. His message continues to live on in the hearts of the people, especially the youth, who look to him as an example of how to live a life filled with purpose and passion. Dr. Kalam's life was, and will always be, a beacon of hope and inspiration. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more heart-touching, real-life inspired tales, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. Your support means the world, and I'll see you in the next one.